Donald Trump entered global politics like a storm that no one could ignore. From the moment he became President of the United States, world leaders knew they were dealing with someone completely different. Traditional diplomacy, polite smiles, carefully scripted speeches, none of that defined Donald Trump. Instead, his interactions with world leaders became global events, watched closely, analyzed endlessly, and debated everywhere. Trump didn't just meet world leaders, he challenged them, surprised them, and sometimes even dominated the room. His style was direct, confrontational, and unapologetically bold. Whether standing beside longtime allies or historic rivals, Trump turned every meeting into a headline. One of the earliest signs of Trump's unconventional diplomacy came through something as simple as a handshake. His handshake with German Chancellor Angela Merkel quickly became symbolic of their complicated relationship. Merkel, calm and reserved, represented traditional European diplomacy, while Trump stood firm, often appearing dominant and dismissive. Cameras captured moments where Trump refused to shake hands or avoided eye contact, sending subtle yet powerful messages. Analysts debated these gestures endlessly, but Trump never explained them. He let the world guess. In contrast, Trump's meetings with French President Emmanuel Macron were dramatic yet strangely friendly. Their handshakes became legendary, long, intense, almost competitive. Both leaders seemed determined not to let go first, turning a simple greeting into a display of power. Yet beneath the firmness, there was mutual respect. Trump praised Macron openly, calling him strong and smart, while Macron skillfully navigated Trump's personality, maintaining France's position on the world stage. When it came to the United Kingdom, Trump's relationship with Prime Minister Theresa May was polite but complicated. May approached Trump carefully, aware of his unpredictable nature. Their meetings were formal, yet Trump's blunt remarks often created discomfort. Later, Trump's interactions with Boris Johnson brought a different energy. Johnson's confident and humorous style matched Trump's boldness, creating moments that felt more relaxed, though still filled with political tension. Trump's relationship with Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was one of the most openly tense among U.S. allies. Trudeau represented modern liberal leadership, calm, diplomatic, and progressive, while Trump embodied nationalist and aggressive negotiation tactics. Trade disagreements turned personal, with Trump openly criticizing Trudeau during international summits. Their body language during meetings reflected discomfort, and their press conferences often felt strained. Despite being neighbors and allies, their differences were impossible to hide. Across the Pacific, Trump's interactions with China's President Xi Jinping were strategic and carefully calculated. Trump spoke warmly of Xi in public, calling him a friend, while simultaneously launching one of the most aggressive trade wars in modern history. Their meetings were polite, controlled, and formal, yet beneath the smiles lay deep economic rivalry. Trump admired Xi's power and authority, often commenting on his control over China, while making it clear that America would no longer accept what he called unfair trade practices. Perhaps no relationship captured global attention like Trump's dealings with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. This was unprecedented, a sitting U.S. president meeting a North Korean leader face-to-face. At first, their relationship was hostile. Trump called Kim Rocket Man, and Kim responded with threats. The world feared escalation. Then suddenly, everything changed. Trump agreed to meet Kim, shocking diplomats worldwide. Their handshake became historic. Though concrete results were limited, Trump's willingness to engage directly broke decades of tradition and redefined diplomatic possibilities. Trump's meetings with Russian President Vladimir Putin were equally controversial. Their interactions were calm, almost friendly, which raised questions and suspicions back home. Trump praised Putin's leadership style, calling him strong and respected. Critics accused Trump of being too soft, while supporters argued he was attempting to reduce global tensions. Every meeting between the two leaders sparked intense media coverage, with body language and facial expressions analyzed frame by frame. In the Middle East, Trump's relationships varied dramatically. His partnership with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was one of his strongest alliances. Trump openly supported Israel, recognizing Jerusalem as its capital, a decision that reshaped Middle Eastern politics. Netanyahu and Trump shared mutual admiration, often appearing united and confident during public appearances. On the other hand, Trump's stance toward Iran was firm and confrontational. He withdrew the United States from the Iran nuclear deal, calling it one of the worst agreements ever made. His speeches against Iranian leadership were direct and aggressive, signaling a return to pressure-based diplomacy rather than negotiation. Trump's interactions with Saudi Arabia's leadership were marked by strong economic and strategic ties. His visit to Saudi Arabia was lavish, filled with grand ceremonies and powerful imagery. Trump emphasized business, arms deals, and mutual interests, showcasing his transactional approach to foreign policy. With Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, Trump shared a surprisingly warm relationship. Abe understood Trump's personality and often used Gulf diplomacy to build rapport. Their meetings were friendly, respectful, and cooperative. Abe's patience and understanding allowed him to maintain a strong alliance while navigating Trump's unpredictability. Trump's dealings with NATO leaders were often tense. He openly criticized NATO members for not contributing enough financially, challenging long-standing alliances. During NATO summits, Trump appeared confrontational, demanding change and accountability. While some leaders were uncomfortable, others acknowledged that Trump forced necessary conversations that previous administrations avoided. In India, Trump's relationship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi was marked by grand public events and mutual praise. Their rallies drew massive crowds, symbolizing a growing partnership between the two nations. Trump admired Modi's leadership style and popularity, while Modi skillfully balanced diplomacy with Trump. Trump's meetings with African leaders were fewer but notable. He often approached Africa through a business-focused lens, emphasizing trade rather than aid. While his comments sometimes sparked controversy, his administration sought economic engagement over traditional diplomacy. Throughout his presidency, Trump consistently blurred the line between diplomacy and personal branding. Every meeting felt like a performance, every handshake a statement. Supporters viewed his approach as honest and refreshing, while critics saw it as reckless and damaging. What made Trump truly unique was his willingness to break norms. He spoke his mind, ignored traditional scripts, and prioritized America's interests above all else. Whether confronting allies or engaging adversaries, Trump treated diplomacy as negotiation, a deal to be won rather than a relationship to be maintained. World leaders were forced to adapt. Some resisted, some embraced, and others carefully navigated his unpredictable style. But none could ignore him. Trump commanded attention like few leaders before him. Even years later, Trump's interactions with world leaders continue to influence global politics. His presidency proved that personality matters as much as policy on the world stage. Love him or hate him, Trump changed how leaders communicate, negotiate, and project power. Donald Trump didn't just sit at the global table, he flipped it, challenged it, and reshaped it. His moments with world leaders were not just meetings, they were defining chapters in modern political history. And one thing is certain, the world will never forget the era when diplomacy became